Alright, let's look at Chapter 3, Lesson 7, Spiral Review. We need to look at the number and operations part first. Write a fraction for the shaded part of the figure. The first thing that you need to think about is, what is a fraction? A fraction is a piece of something. So let's count about this whole shape. How many pieces are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are shaded, so your top number in your fraction is going to be 4. Now let's count how many are not, or how many there are all together. And you can do that by 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. Now, this is an improper fraction, so you need to reduce it. So you should still have 4 twelfths, but you also need to reduce it. You need to think about what goes into 4 and into 12 evenly. And I know that 4 goes into 4 one time, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. Number 2, I need to count how many are shaded. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 out of the whole thing. And let's count how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3 is 9. But I need to reduce this fraction. So I have to think about what goes into 3 and into 9 evenly. And I know 3 goes into 3 and into 9. It goes into 3 one time, and it goes into 9 3 times. Let's move on to number 3. Count the pieces that are shaded. 1, 2, 3. Out of how many there are? 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2. 3 times 2 is 6. But I know that 3/6 is an improper fraction. What goes into 3 and into 6 evenly? I know that 3 goes into 3 one time, and I know 3 goes into 6 2 times. So use this strategy of where you count the shaded numbers first to find your numerator, and then count all of the pieces to find your denominator in order to solve numbers 4, 5, and 6. Let's move on to reasoning and proof. We need to solve numbers 7 and 8. Ron is packing 185 books at the bookstore. One carton holds 20 books. How many full cartons can he pack? How many books will be left over? So we need to circle the important information or underline it. I know that there's 185 books total. And I know that one carton will hold 20 books. So I need to figure out how many cartons I'm going to have full. Now I could just count by 20s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. That's 5 cartons so far out of 100. So if I have 5 cartons for 100, now I can keep counting up. 20, 40, 60, 80, 180 would be 5 cartons plus 4 cartons, which is 9 cartons. Now that answers the first question. How many full cartons are there? 9 cartons was 180 books, but I need 185 books, so I know that there's 5 extra books left over. Now I could have solved this using just a simple division problem, 185 divided by 20, and think about how many times 20 would go into 185. I know it goes in 9 times. 9 times 20 is 180. Subtract it, and I get remainder 5. So 9 full cartons and 5 books. Let's move on to number 8 now. There are 4 bus seats in each row. Passengers fill up each row before starting a new row. If there are 39 passengers on the bus, how many rows are filled? How many passengers will be in the last row? So I know that there's 4 bus seats in each row. I know that there's going to be 39 passengers, and I need to figure out how many rows are filled and how many passengers will be in the last row. So again, I could draw out a picture using dots and just count up until I get to 39, but that would take me a little bit too long. So I'm going to use a division problem again. 39 divided by 4 rows. I know 4 goes into 3 0 times, and I need to think about how many times 4 goes into 39. I know that 4 times 9 is going to be 36. I can subtract and get remainder 3. So I know that there's 9 full rows with 3 people in the back row. You need to have your work so I know how you figured out the answer.